To everyone present in this room, my opposition, my proposition, and the moderators, alongside the audience and the judges. My name is Loxley. I will be the first speaker for the opposition team in proposing our perspective on the idea of scrapping AA, alongside with the second speaker who will further supplement on affirmative action, and our third speaker who will be doing most of the rebuttals and consolidating our ideas, and the fourth speaker will finally summarize and finally close the case against this horrendous idea of being able to close affirmative action. First of all, for those who say maybe they should fight to the top, maybe they should be able, maybe give them the tools that help them fight the same way as the majority. Well, let me tell you something. In many scenarios, the minorities and the majorities may have had the same exact tools to fight for their right to gain opportunities, gain jobs, gain the education they deserve, and however may so, they may often lose it simply due to the fact that the majority may be the preferred one. And without AA, it's not near impossible, but it is a long struggle for them to be able to get into the same education, the same jobs, and the same opportunities as the majority. And why not make use of affirmative action? Here they are the minorities.
Point of information.
Denied. Here they are the minorities, having suffered for so many years through the majority's rule over them and the majority's preference over many deals of items. Don't they deserve this affirmative action? It is, after all, in compensation for this brutal treatment. Race has been a major cause of poverty. How can the color of one's skin can determine their abilities to perform in varying fields? That is not right. Denied. And let society
Point of information.
All four of you?
Yeah.
Denied. Let society pay for its wrongdoing. The minorities have been beaten to submission, hurt to feel as if they were not. Proceed.
So the very
Your name, please.
I'm Asmita. So the very basis for bringing in affirmative action was to get equality. That's what I said, that the roles have changed, and now you're saying it was to bring in equality. Where do you see equality today with affirmative action?
When the rising rates of blacks, Hispanics, Latinos entering into colleges, entering into jobs, gaining the same opportunities, and being able to provide themselves the needs to support the Muslim community and to help their country raise their GDP, raising everyone's happiness. Let me tell you something about a country. Denied. The moment a country...
Point of information.
Denied. The moment a country is happy is when all of their citizens are stable, all of their citizens are happy. The GDP has risen to a point where it can benefit everyone. And let me tell you something, this everyone includes the majority. And one more thing, with or without affirmative action, the majority always gets the win-win situation. The people who will gain from this final help are the same. Proceed.
So you believe that affirmative
Your name,
action,
please.
Ganesh. So you believe that affirmative action should not be scrapped. A very genuine doubt. How much reservation should be there for the general category? Because right now, the minorities are benefiting from the system. What about us?
Considering that First of all, to classify yourself as a majority shows that you see someone out there as a minority, which is in fact a form of discrimination. And I feel sad for you. Second of all,
Point of information.
Denied. I'm still answering the first point of information. And considering that the minorities are given rates of percentage of allocation in 20%, 30%, will not make the majority any less stronger. They are always culturally accepted, the majorities, in any country you go to. The minorities need to become stronger because the majorities are already stronger. This is not going to be helped. It's not going to be helped if the majority comes down. It's going to only be helped if the minority comes up. And you saying that the majority will be brought down is completely ridiculous.
Point of information.
Denied. And let's go into a specific aspect. If we're going to start examples, we need to go into specific aspects. Now let us think about education. This affirmative action is aimed towards minorities to lure them, to be able to bring them into the country so that they can become a working part of their country while providing a new aspect to the view of life, lifestyle, culture, food, drama, dance. They infuse information. Denied. And who is to say that these students and these people will not work harder and will only be dependent upon affirmative? Denied. Who is to say that these students will not work harder just because they are depending on the governments? Let me tell you something. The students will work harder, having been given a unique opportunity. Don't believe me? Look at all the Chinese, denied. Look at all the Chinese, Japanese, Indian, Korean students. Or rather, look at their parents who have taught them to work hard to receive their best and to be given this unique opportunity to use it to their might and to be able to further climb the ladders, not above the majority, but just as equal as the majority. And besides, what is wrong with the minority finally being the majority? Hasn't there been so many years where the majority has enjoyed exclusive
point of information?
Denied. Sorry to use this exclusive term, but white privilege? Haven't they enjoyed it far enough? Isn't it time for the minority to finally feel some credibility in this community?
Point of information.
Denied. Let us look at the stereotypes purported in our music and in our TV and in our books given over by Western cultures, where black women are always working 2 jobs, and Indians all the time own 7-Elevens. They're taxi drivers or they're shopkeepers. Why is that so? Because they came to this country with a demand for education. They may have gone to different countries hoping for better dreams, but instead they couldn't achieve it due to the color of their skin or the accent they speak in. That is not the way to go. How many of you here have seen Deadpool? Guess on the not raising hands? Oh, one raising hand, thank you. And if you notice, the taxi driver named Dopinder, aptly an Indian name, is seen giving Deadpool free rides all the time. And the only thing he receives in the form of payment is high fives. Of course, the only thing he receives in payment is high fives. Because here is a white Canadian sitting in his taxi with 2 katanas sticking out of his back. And if he knows that if he asks for payment, he will get literally shredded to pieces. This is exactly how majority-minority has worked for all these 100 years, with the minority cowering under the majority with their weapons and their privileges, able to beat them into submission. So isn't it finally time for the majority to use these weapons as not weapons, but rather tools to uplift the minorities? Let's not break down the minorities, let's break down the obstacles for the minorities. The majority should have just as enough play into making sure that the minorities gain access as the minorities do to help themselves gain the same access. For a long time, this majority has had unspoken, unwritten affirmative action. And so I would so like to end my speech by saying they have every right to deserve affirmative action. Thank you.